And here we are back for Friday action here in Maryland at Laurel Park. I'm your host, Callie Francois, with Keith Fusel to my left. Keith, did Tim Tulloch behave himself while I was out of town?
He was fine. I'm
Okay.
glad you know where you are right now. A couple days ago, I heard you didn't really know where you were. Is that true?
I didn't quite decide where I was going to be a couple of days ago.
All
I
right.
extended my trip a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
here we are back from Saratoga. You're going to be out of town pretty soon. You're
I
going to be
might
headed to
be.
Del Mar,
I might
so
be.
a
Yep.
couple of
We'll
jet
see.
setters here. But we're here right here in Maryland for Friday, and let's get going
Mm-hmm.
with this nice Friday card, 8-race card here on Friday. Just taking a look at the track, we had a lot of rain,
Yeah.
a lot of rain. That's when I pulled in Thursday night, and I pulled right into it. Just a ton of rain that we had, so we're off the turf today, but a nice looking track that we have here on the dirt today. A fast dirt track, and off the turf today.
Yeah, let's hope we can get back on that turf course tomorrow. It's looking great. Really holding up well. Haven't missed a whole lot of turf races. It's good. Yeah, track. There was a little trend, Callie, when you were gone. I mean, the speed inside was pretty dominant on this main track. Like we had intermittent showers, some rain coming along. So it might have tightened the track up. And that
Sure.
speed did carry pretty well most of those races through a stretch. So pay attention to that early part of August when you go back, horses coming off of races during those dates. If you got horses that were more deeper closers or kind of even stalkers, give them a little more credence next time they run. But unfortunately, yeah, off the turf today, and hopefully we'll get back on it tomorrow.
And I just, with that rain that we came, all that water that came in on that track, I think that's, you said that the rail was nice in the past couple weeks, and I think that trend is going to continue very,
Okay.
very well. But let's get going
All right.
on race number 1. Let's kick into this claiming 16, never win 2, scratch with the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 8 for this mile and the 8th. Now taken off the turf. Now we're on the dirt, and we both land on the engine
Yeah.
for Damon Deal DeVico, Horacio Caramanos, really coming into nice form, and broke his maiden on the dirt on an off track anyway.
Yeah, I think this horse is going to be fine on a fast track. It just looks to be improved, okay, since changing barns. Real gritty effort last time out. That was first time blinkers. Battled back late, had to shift out to just miss on the turf. Back on the dirt, I tell you, the lone, try had an excuse on a fast track at Pimlico. Boss man JJ fourth, Muggsy Malone, couple key horses stumbled in, were bumped. I think this horse is going to stretch out on the dirt, no problem. I looked at the family. The mother could really carry the speed. There's not a whole lot of speed in this race on the engine. I think we'll do just that or sit maybe just off of it and get your opener
I agree.
done at a shorter price.
Yeah, definitely. And you have I have the 6 underneath. Excuse me. Street Lamp,
Uh-huh.
Ricky Silliman. This is a horse that might be again a little bit obviously dropping down in form a little bit, although not too harshly with that starter optional at Penn. So just seeing if this horse likes coming back to Laurel again. Was out of his league last time out, but again, this is a horse that is a need the lead type. So I feel like it's all about the trip with this horse, and if this horse can get up there and get out of there, I like Toledo back on this horse. I think if with that 6 post should be able to make a little bit of a game for it early on.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that horse could be forward, no doubt. I'll toss in Erewhon. Erewhon has been fairly consistent. You have to time the move just about right. But against this group, he should be a stayer. Forward type of jockey with Acosta as well. Should be forwardly placed.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. Race number 2, we start Keith's early pick for that. He has a ticket nice and warmed up for us. And Keith,
Yeah.
once we get it going, how do you see this ticket playing?
I'm going to play El Cheapo ticket, $12, 2 by 2 by 2 by 3. 4 5 gets you started with some firsters in race 2 with Anath and Blame Catalaya. Race 3, the 1 and the 2, Elusive Agent. Take Charge 2, got plenty of speed. Has to get a little bit more staying power for Kieran, just might, the way this track's been playing. Race 4, we use the 1 and the 5, Boondoggle and Anti-Poison. Wrap it up with the 2, 11, 12. Tonka Tough, a little bit of a value shot there in race 5. $12 if you want to throw in maybe one more in the 5th. Toss in the 3, Bella Bettina. Another horse I had used, came off, was a later scratch in race 5. But there you go, $12. We've got some tough cards ahead of us. The Sunday's card, I was really confused trying to make the lines. I was talking to Vinny. I had to call a friend to get through a couple of those races on Sunday's cards. So some wide open action here at Laurel Park.
And we had some before the scratches. We did have the card was pretty decent, I thought, with a couple of these races. But with the scratches, again, I go with a cheap ticket as well. But we start off with the four
Hmm.
Brittany Russell, and you have a stat
Yeah.
with this Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell starter with a Nath for a Jeff at Gardella. If we could get that stat up. Olivia, that would be awesome. But
Yeah.
first time starter for Brittany Russell, and here we go.
Yeah, the last year on the dirt, Brittany with the 2-year-old maiden claiming variety, firsters, 4 for 7, 6 for 7 in the money, pretty good. ROI 263. Look, that looks like a new owner, Jeff Gardella, teaming up with Brittany Russell. The Stallion Cloud Computing, he's off to a little bit of slower start, only one
He
for
is, yep.
14 with the first time starters, but they paid 20. You wonder why a little bit light. They pay 20 for us. She's half to a stakes type of horse, and he's my honey badger. Ran second in the city of Laurel. So you're thinking there should be a little bit of talent there. I'm a little leery. The work was 10-4. Timoni went back and looked at it. Pretty good, a little high-headed, but kept on well with good energy. Steady works coming in. Nothing really eye-catching, but nobody's eclipsed a 30 when looking at the buyer figures. So you're hoping, they can be a little aggressive here, spot her at the 30 and get it done first time out. I'm going to use the other firster as well, the 5, Blaine Catalaya for Anthony Pecoraro. We saw him
Yep.
score with a firster at a big, big price the other day. Was claimed by Brittany Russell, but the mare was pretty good. 3 for 10, 6 for 10 in the money. I think Pecoraro, he hasn't sent a lot down here in the maiden claiming 2-year-old firsters in the last couple of years, but he is 4 for 5 in the money. Has a win, 4 for 5 in the money, so they're kind of live. I'll go 4 and 5. I think Miss Fussy Pants and the 7 will benefit from the experience. They're running well.
Sure. Benefit from experience is a great way to put it. They are both starting to make a nice little turnaround. I like that. I liked what Tim Keefe was able to do that first time out for Tim Keefe starter because that's not his strongest suit. But again, with the two horses, the Brittany and the Anthony Pecoraro, especially, and you noted it, especially when he brings them down here, he tends to, if not win, absolutely show up. So I like those both of those horses underneath. Miss Fussy Pants, I think, just gets a little bit, might get a little bit of a better trip, being a little bit on that outer-ish, most outside post that she's had thus far in her career. But race number 3 is another maiden special weight that we have taken off the turf with the scratch with the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, and the 9 to get back on the dirt. But I started off with a ticket to get you started for the pick 6 in this race 3, and I go cheap as well. So I do like Elusive Agent in this race and just rolling right along through this ticket. Race number 5, another main claiming I like Ashara underneath. Race number 7 with Canoodle. That's a legit 9 to 5 shot. That filly's going to be live ever since she's gotten back on the dirt, ever since she's gotten back on her nice distance. She gets back to that same type of distance again. So she's very, very sharp in the morning and going very well. Again, I go in with a cheaper ticket of $32.40. But let's kick in to this race number 3 with this maiden special weight. And we both land on the 1 Elusive Agent, as we were just talking about. A nice first-time starter for Tim Keefe. Again, it's a good, couldn't beat out the winner, just ran in between. It's solid effort. Tim Keefe is starting to roll a little bit with these first-time starters. In the beginning of the year, it wasn't his strongest step, but now he's starting to make a little bit of a play.
Yeah, maybe they got what they wanted here as well with this guy off the turf. I mean, bottom side, this horse is a half to pounding music. I think it broke its maiden on the turf with a decent number, somewhere around a 70 buyer. But looking at the field that signed on just to its outside are 2 horses that want to go, and they're quick. I think they might run themselves into submission. Elusive Agent, a good trip after some early adversity, just has to kind of follow that race up somewhere close, and she'll bring a finish to kind of go by the speeds in the last, I'd say, 3/16, eighth of a mile.
I think you're seeing it very, very correct there. Like you said, speeding, getting the speed into submission, and they're going to submit themselves. I think I totally agree with that with the number 2. But I'm giving Take Charge to a little bit of benefit of the doubt. So Kieran McGee is 17% with that poor last race. We haven't seen this horse since mid-July. So let's just see what can be turned around in there for Take Charge to. But again, I won't be surprised if we do see an early submission from those 2 speed horses from the inside. And then we do have Deming. I just gave the Mark Schumann a bit of a chance. I like Mark Schumann off of a short sampling. 33% in that second time start. So out of the last 6 second time starts, 2 have been winners, 1/3. So I'm also looking for that I think Carol Cedeno on that outside is going to give is going to be a nice factor. And then you also have Cross Traffic, who is 17% with those second time starters as well. Race number 4. Let's kick into race number 4 for that claiming 5, 8 a mile here on the dirt. We do have a video spotlight right away on the current 5-horse Boondoggle for Kieran McGee and John Avello coming into 2 starts back on the dirt.
Boondoggle. I like it. I like that name. That's good stuff. But Boondoggle took the rating 2 races back July the 4th and really ran lights out. It's a big effort. Probably the most impressive stretch run I've seen from Boondoggle. The key is now, had that race going long on the turf at Colonial, comes back to the dirt for Kieran. I think he's going to be fine on the front end. He's got a good turn of foot early. He can rate a little bit around the turn and kind of sprint away late. 2 for 2 for Kieran on the main track. Boondoggle to the front. Let's hope he doesn't look back.
We have a couple of other speedsters, but again, this is where Kieran kind of has a little bit of an advantage as he is. I mean, he's strong from that turf to dirt angle off of a recent sampling. He's hitting that 35% at that. Yeah. So I think if we just continue off of that, and he gave the same type of trip going on the turf. So if you're going from short on the dirt to long on the turf, obviously he's going to be in the speed there. But I think it was just when it's that first time, not the first time stretching out, obviously, but if you go back to that previous win, not to the previous one, but 2 wins back, that was long on the dirt as well. So this is a proven horse that's able to handle this type of course and distance. So I think it fits him just fine. I just don't think I just don't think this horse is quite a turf horse as everybody expects him to be or hopes him to be. So very well enough for Boondoggle. You also have Annie Poison underneath, which is the other possible one, chasing a little bit for the speed on that inside post, but he's dealt with that before.
Yeah, Rudy's got a couple in here. Anti-Poison, Albertano to the outside. Anti-Poison a little bit more tactical. And Avello left. Albertano was named. Is going to go with Kieran. But Anti-Poison, good race last time. Very determined. Rated kindly. Was able to wear down at the 3 to 5 or 4 to 5 favor for Dale drive-by layover, who was on a drop. So yeah, getting aggressive, dropping in, claiming price. This is the right spot though. But you're going to see Rudy try to get aggressive here late. He wants to win a title.
He does.
Yep.
He's right on. He's breathing down the neck of Claudio Gonzalez, and at one point he was leading it a couple weeks back. So we'll see. And I agree. Just Rudy's going to be putting some of these in and trying to get that win. But before we get into race number 5, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Well, back to race number 5 and an off-the-turf event where we've got quite a few scratches in here. We got a scratch in the 1, the 5, the 6, the 9, the 10, and the 13. So we leave a couple open, but you go ahead and land on the number 2. We flip-flop between the 2 and the 11, Tonka Tough and Ashara. I like that. I like that you got some faith in Tonka Tough on the inside rail. Absolutely.
Yeah, Tonka Tough, Ashara. These 2 will be out early. Ashara might be a little bit quicker. I like the speed that Tonka Tough showed, a little tactical speed at 2. It's come back a couple of races under belt. This is going to be first-time blinkers and first-time Lasix, right, together, that combination on the main track. I think Tonka Tough holds a little value still in here with a barn that usually doesn't get a lot of action. But this horse took play early. They like this horse early on. But I think she can kind of prompt the issue of a shower, maybe edge by that one through the stretch. These 2 will kind of try to slip away from the field. Tonka Tough.
And this
maybe gets by late.
This is a field. This is a field I think they'll be able to do that with. Even you can give some benefit for the first-time starters, but the rest of these. I mean, you do have Policewoman, but Policewoman is going to be giving us a nice show on the backside, and I don't think she's going to. She's just as understanding that filly, I'm surprised with how well she did last time out. I thought she hung in there much longer than was expected last time out. So being in a new barn, I'm having kind of a bit of a question on that. So that's the only thing that I have against that filly. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt. We've got Victor Carrasco back on a Jonathan Maldonado horse at this level, so that's something to be said. The jump up is definitely a bit of a question. So we're going back to that. I'm looking back. I'm kind of referring back to that 5.5 back in June on that off the turf event on a fast track where it was able, even horse. This is an even horse on the dirt, so able to take some traction. And hopefully, Victor will just put this horse on the right spot.
Yeah, put right spot.
Why
and
not?
they may just come back to her. Yeah.
Exactly. Bella Patina, Katie Voss, blinkers off, trying to get some improvement off of that horse. Absolutely, why not? But race number 6 is a claiming 10 event, 8.5 mile and 16th on the dirt. We've got a video spotlight on the horse that we have on top, which is contended now for Kieran McGee, Jean Novello teaming up, trying to team up again for 2 today.
Yeah.
Same type of style, just a horse that's right there, right just on the outside, very chill, just waiting patiently. Very patient ride by Jean Novello, just taking his time. Really, he had the best. There's nothing else to say, but just had the best horse in the race that day.
Yeah, and that was a 2 in life. Tate, we've seen he's burned a little bit of money, but confidently handled around the turn, was contented now and is able to kind of get in a little struggle, but survive the struggle past the 3/16 to go clear at the mile distance. Now we're going to go 2 turns. He's never won at 2 turns, but he catches the right field, aggressively spotted. Kieran will do this at times. He is not a slew, but off of a win and this kind of a drop over the last 3 years, he's 3 for 6 and 4 for 6 in the money. He wants the money. We'll see. He looks to me like an all-or-nothing type contented now. So that's the kind of way I'll play him. I think Urban Warrior from the rail just holds some value. He keys up against Hefner, who ran against Vinny in that 20-claimer at Delaware. He may just stay the trip, sit inside and slug up, as I like to call it sometimes, and kind of just ride the inside, and the field may come back to him. So I'm going to use the 1 and the 4 under the 6. I think Aftermath, that was a good run last time. Got things to set up a little bit on the front end. Might need some help again today, but certainly a capable barn. 6147 in the 6.
6147 in the 6. Race number 7, that allowance taken off the turf. We're back at 5.5, still at this distance. We both land on Canuto single in my ticket, coming back off of a couple of nice performances after being on the dirt, cutting back in distance. And I think the cut back in distance is what this filly has been asking for a little bit. If you just this filly, I feel like this filly is just in such top form right now. Had a bit of a tough go last time out. A pinchback start, did not get the best trip, but this filly is able to sit off the pace, or if you want to go ahead and send her, depending on, especially being on that rail, that's totally viable for this filly today.
Yeah, this looks like Canoodle or Spicy Margarita, and Spicy Margarita is quicker early. There's no doubt about it. The one worry about Canoodle, I'm just hoping she gets out of the gate a little bit better. You look at her last 3 starts, our short comments for Equibase: pinch back, rated between, had to ease back, and a step slow. She's got a good middle move, too, when she wants it. I think that might help her at the 5.5 distance. She comes away in decent order. I think she might be able to reel in Spicy Margarita. Has that big win last time at Delaware, coming back home. A good try, 3 back. They both key against a hot horse and sway in to and fro. Slight edge to Canoodle. I'm going to make her my best bet because I think the speed factor, they might make Spicy Margarita the favorite in here because of that.
I wouldn't be surprised because of that with Spicy Margarita, just because it's just these fast enough in this field. So, you go ahead and allude to that, but she's also an easy caller. If you go 3 back in that starter optional at Laurel, going this 3/4 furlong, she was collared and she gave in a little bit. So I'm not saying she is the lead type, but she kind of looks like it a little bit. So that's where Canuto fits in well with her.
We're going to find out. I mean, extended duel was that comment, so she got into it hot and heavy early. And who else is really going to run with her? And the way the track played, if it holds like it was holding last week, she may be gone. But I think Canoodle on her best might be just a little bit better. She's going to have to bring it. We'll see.
Agreed. And let's go into the nightcap of the day. This maiden claiming a 25.5 on the dirt as intended. And you go ahead and land on the number 7 Bear Grease, which I love that as a 10-1 price play shot for Cal Lynch. Austin Reynolds in the irons today and coming off of a little bit of layoff. I like a lot of factors here for the Cal Lynch runner.
Austin Reynolds. Do you know Austin Reynolds? I don't know much about Austin
I
Reynolds.
don't know much about
Okay,
Austin
we're
Reynolds
gonna get
here,
it going.
so
Maybe
we're about to find
maybe
out.
we'll get the win right off the bat here. I'm hoping. I've got this filly, I think, lined a little too high when it's all said and done. I went back and just she caught a couple really good horses in debut. Casa de Oro, Visby ran big. That was the Nixon horse. Sensen, we know, was always knocking around the door and consistent.
Right.
So she draws outside. You got to scratch it, tilt to the air. It's going to bring our price down. But given a little freshening in some of the suspect speed types in here, maybe she can just sit just outside, stalk and bounce and go on.
And that's exactly what I like about this filly. Cal Lynch, he does well with these 2-year-olds and early 3-year-olds for a reason. And even though not hitting, this obviously not firing, putting up fire performances, but Cal's doing the thing of giving this one some time in between races and kind of getting those quick runs in, giving a break, and then coming back with a little bit of a vengeance, which is why he's 31% with doing poor last race. So that's it. But and then the 4, Spotaki for Claudio Gonzalez, Jaron Barbosa on top. This is the one that's going to be, I love the style of this one. This one's going to be coming from off the pace. I love a horse that can come off of the pace. Just did well despite not quite getting the trip. Didn't have the cleanest of the first eighth of the race last time out, and was able to overcome that a little bit. And then you get a new in the Claudio Gonzalez barn, just add to that, and I think that's a way to just really tie it up very, very nicely.
Yeah, quick plunge off of debut, right? Was bet heavy on that turf race, and then boom, right in for 16. It's like, okay, we maybe wanted to send her off to no, and Claudio doesn't raise. So,
Yep.
Right back, there's a little bit of question mark, a little cloud surrounding Spataki. So, yeah, but gets the right kind of flow. There's no doubt about it. A lot of these horses want to be up close. This looks like the best finisher in the race. She's going to be a much shorter price now. Yeah, I got a bad line on Bear Grease. Maybe we can get 9 to 2 or 4 on her when it's all said and done. And Silver's Girl, she's shown the ability sometimes to kind of sit just off of it. Sapphire Beauty for Frock used last time, had dead aim. Just might have needed that race. I think has the ability to close into it as well.
I think so as well. So that wraps it up for our nightcap. I just want to make a quick announcement that we do have a cancellation of that food truck festival that we have coming up on the 20th. Basically what's happening is that we're gearing up to have that food truck festival, that Maryland Million weekend.
Oh, cool.
So
All
it's coming back. Just because it's canceled this weekend, it's coming back. We're going to be having it, and we will have a food truck festival before the year is over, absolutely. But Keith, let's get into your best bet and value play of the day.
A bigger and better food truck festival. I know Joe Gast will be here for Maryland Million Day. He's
Perfect.
in Saratoga right now. He said he was watching us up there at Saratoga, paying attention to the real racing. I like that, Joe. He's a good fan. So, yeah, best bet of the day, race 7, the 5 Canoodle. Just, I shouldn't say that. That was the 1, right? My bad. Yeah. It's the 1 Canoodle. I think just gets a little bit more value. I think they're going to, because of the scratches, the speed of Claudio, you might get, it's not going to be huge. Yeah, can we get 6 to 5? You might be able to take it in a short field. So it's going to be like 6 to 5, 4 to 5 when it's all said and done. But Canoodle to kind of edge on by. Value Play is a horse that you used as well, right?
Tonka Tough.
Tonka Tough coming back. Blinkers and Lasix combo, first time on the main track. Tonka Tough will sit just off the share. I think we'll be able to stay close. It's a horse that took plenty of play early on in its career. I think is going to be right, going back to the dirt, catches the right field to maybe get by and break the maiden.
Exactly. Had the white light switch. The light switch went on last time out. I love that as your as your value play of the day. And that's going to be it for Keith and I for your morning show. Let's hit up Dave Rodman for changes and scratches.
You got it. Good luck, everybody.